What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Sunday night recap. We're still chunking our way through RMUC matches. Tonight it's just me. Shaur had a prior engagement, but we are gonna try our best to stick to the schedule. So, who knows? In the future, maybe if we both have something, if we've both got something the same night, maybe we'll do like a pre-produced, like pre-made video for y'all or something. But for today, it's me and you. We're just gonna cover one RMUC match. Take a look at it. You know how it is if you've been to the last couple recaps. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday here on Rep. Counting down to RMNA 2025. Let's get into it. I'm trying live from DJI Live this time, so we'll see how it goes. Man, I can never get over how big the drones are. Goodness gracious. All right, some interesting designs. We're seeing a lot of these sentries with the LiDAR directly over their head. A lot. We've seen a few of them, which is interesting. Almost exclusively seeing vacuum engineers now. Which is cool. I know A&M switched to that a couple years ago. It's good to see them kind of on the edge with the Chinese teams. So we're going to have Ambition, Team Ambition in the red versus Ultra in the blue. This is still groups, so it's best of 3. Best of 3 rounds. This is a really good chance to get a scale. So behind these players, you can see the dart area is massive. Like when we're watching the game and you see the dart fly across, it's hard to remember that the dart launcher is like 5 feet tall. It's just the whole game is such an impressive scale. You can see the engineer. Oh, there's the buffer. We'll see how sufferable this buffer is today, guys. Ooh, it might not be sufferable. Oh no. Let me take a peek. All right, give me 1 second. Let's while I see if we can grab, I have a couple downloaded still. Just want to make sure they're not a repeat. I don't want us to rewatch ones we've already done. I've got some RMUL stuff too. Dang, chat. My computer's been having some crazy issues with their downloads though. Like it'll sit there for like an hour saying it's downloading and then it'll get stuck, which is problematic. I don't think we've watched this one. Yeah, definitely not. All right, I've got one for us. No worries, chat. We have that happen every year. I really want to be able to do like the live stuff from RMUC, but what ends up happening is there's a ton of buffering, which is a bummer, especially when we have international teams going. I always wish that we could watch it. When we do watch it live, we suffer through it when the like A&M went last year. But anywho, this one will be without buffer. Let me throw a little bit of audio in for y'all as well. All right, so we've got Team Future in the blue. Again, just an RMUC group matches. This is from one of the previous days from the South region. Taking a peek at the red team now. Typical flywheels on the hero. I know we've seen one pneumatic hero. Not this match. You can see the engineer here. This is the bot that's going to grab the cubes, plays the more supportive gold-focused role in the game. Also the most complex, in my opinion, of all the bots. More like reminiscent of a first robotics, or if you've seen Vex robotics, where it's not doing combat robotics, it's not fighting in the esport, it's just grabbing cubes and putting those away. The hero bot for the blue team, Team Future here, you can see some of their statistics, right, with a 26% accuracy rate, top 18. That's probably in their region, which is not bad. Some crazy design over on the left. Look at blue standard 3 is extremely unique looking. That's such a low profile head. Let's see if we get a closer look at it. So before the match starts, each team gets 2 to 3 minutes to just test everything out. There's a lot of 3D prints on some of these parts. A lot of these white parts look like printed parts. That is, I mean, fairly common as you'd expect for RoboMasters. Usually using some kind of TPU or flexible filament that allows you to take projectile hits without cracking. PLA and even some ABS can be prone to, I mean, just getting destroyed by projectiles. All right, last time, chat, last time. Here we go. There we go. All right, now you all should have sound. Same match, same round. But now, getting ready for round 1. They're taking, had a small technical timeout as the bases close, and we're ready for the game.
可以去重点关注的点。那我们看到双方的基地护甲正在缓缓闭合，期待双方这一小局精彩的表现，把时间交还给现场解说。
3, 2, 1, let's go. So I actually believe that we've seen Team Future before, and the University of Agriculture. We might have seen this round before. If we've seen this round before, guys, I apologize, but bear with me. We're going to check it out. I don't think that we have, because there's a robot that is extremely unique on the field that I don't believe we've discussed at all. But both of the robots, both of the engineers for each team starting on their server cubes. Those are going to be worth less gold, but obviously less contested, as they don't have to battle it out in the middle. The red drone immediately starting to take some offensive firing. So it's doing a great job. Look at both the standards looking fairly similar here in the middle, really low profile heads. But again, that red drone not being used for outpost damage, being used for robot-to-robot combat damage. We'll see what Team Future decides to do with their drone. The drone getting a double kill. The assists that the red team get from that double kill will give them experience points. So still very valuable. Blue team unable to land a lot of significant hits here onto the outpost. 11 shots in a hero is really aggressive early. It's also a very tall suspension design for this blue team. Red drone now turning its attention to the outpost, doing a significant amount of damage. The game very even, about 1160 damage on both sides. Some hero shots getting taken across the whole court from Team Future. We saw one or two fly open. Excuse me, darts. That's darts flying over. They're getting the hero projectile animation. But that is the dart launcher for Team Future. Both of those going wide. The third one narrowly missing. The University of Agriculture is able to use their hero to chew through that outpost health. University Agriculture continuing to gain a small advantage. They're now about 600 health ahead. Team Future catching up quickly as their hero makes a long shot at the outpost. Oh, that one bounced right off the top. The Power Rune has not been super influential this year. If you look back a couple years ago in RoboMasters, teams would wait and they would save their drones for the power buffs that come from getting that central rune. If you hit all of the targets in the correct order, you'll deal extra damage for a certain amount of time. And for the last couple years, this year and last year particularly, that Power Rune has not been very focused by any of the teams, especially in the groups. Still a very even match, 160 HP to 535. The gold is even. The gold numbers that you can see by that coin is remaining gold to spend. Total gold as the red team's outpost goes down. Blue's surely close to follow. The hero only needs to hit a couple shots. Oh my goodness, as soon as I say it's soon to follow, the hero cannot seem to land one. There we go, one more. And there it is, both outposts down. So now the top armor panel of the bases are exposed. Team Future taking a couple shots at the enemy base. Blue hero, or Blue Standard 3, excuse me, in a bit of a kerfuffle there, is taken down. You can see it just behind that bar. The hero from the blue team starting to take a lot of damage from Red Standard 3. He's in a tough corner, and the Red Standard is able to take that hero down. It's a good defensive move. Team Future does have an 800 health point lead on their base, but good defense from Team Red. They need to be able to punch back, though, to keep this game close. Darts flying across the court from the red team, just a little bit low. They will not launch any more in that time. But 13 projectiles in their hero, you can see in the center of your screen. For the red team, lining it up, 13 is more than enough. Each of those is going to do 200 health damage to this base. There we go. He's got it dialed in, starting to chunk through. The blue team needs to do something defensively, but neither of their standards is on the right section of the map. And now the red team pulls ahead. Team Future was not ready for the tempo. They had their moment of aggression, and then the red team was able to defend. But Team Future did not respect the tempo shift. They should have gone back with their standards when their hero was taken out and come back out as a team. But instead, the standards stayed out. And so now, I mean, the hero has 33 projectiles, but it is just not going to be able to match a full team from the red side. This is a really awkward pinch point. We're seeing it. I mean, you see Red Standard 4 actually tipped over in a bit of a chasm there. Right where I've identified this pinch point, it seems like a very sketchy zone to fight. The blue hero was able to make it through, is at about half health before he even takes a single shot, 31. There we go, and you can see now from the perspective of this red standard that is forcing that hero back, forcing him off of that offensive position. He was able to launch 1 of 33 projectiles. That's not going to be influential, as the blue hero is trying to find a spot where he can make a push. He's to fire a lot faster. When you've got this many projectiles, you don't need to worry about those first 3. Whereas the red hero has found a safe spot once again behind the resource island is a really neat and really clever strategy. It hides his armor panels. Now you can see Blue Standard 3 has circled around and is starting to do quite a bit of chunk damage to Red Hero 1. He's able to take it out. It's a good move from Team Future, but they really need to do a lot of base damage to catch up with 20 seconds left to go. It's a good defensive kill. But they've just, oh my goodness, doing 300 damage apiece. They land one, they fired two in quick succession. 8 seconds, 10 seconds left to go. The hero is taken out, and that will spell doom for Team Future, as our red team will take round 1. A fairly even fight, frankly. I think that one could have gone either way. Team Future had an early lead, and then, like I said, they misplayed their map tempo. So we're really just going to look at round 1, because I think Shaur and I have recovered this round together. So I'm just going to do a little bit of solo Preston analysis on where this went wrong. So early in the game, right, obviously it's pretty tied up. I'm going to go forward a few more seconds. You get to this state. Both teams almost exactly tied. We're 1 or 2 minutes into the round. This is not a big surprise. They're fairly evenly matched teams mechanically, right? So from an engineering perspective, they're in a very similar spot. They used their drones differently, which was neat. The red team used it to get an XP advantage. The blue team used it to deal more damage to the outpost. And because the outpost for the red team falls first, due to that drone damage advantage, they are able to get the first chunk damage onto the base, right? So the blue team has the tempo here. Their hero has 19 projectiles. Both bases are exposed. This is a really good position for Team Future. They've spent all their gold. They're on the map. This is when they should be doing things. This should have been their game to win. You can see red standard 4 right at the bottom center of your map has fallen over already. I mean, we're halfway into the match. They're down a standard. So the numbers footing is no longer equal. Luckily, that standard didn't die with a whole lot of virtual projectiles purchased, so there's not going to be a large economic impact. But just from a robot combat standpoint and like an esports standpoint, this should be Team Future's spot to win. But one of the things that I critiqued it live during the game as well, but the blue hero takes so long to fire. Right, you see that first shot finally coming across. Blue Standard 3 does a pretty good job here taking down the red hero, right, buying this blue hero time. So Blue Standard 4 is defending. This is a great position, in my opinion. So if you look at the mini map, right, Blue Standard 3 is hiding. He's on the red side base. He's on the bottom floor in the red side base. He's just forced back the red hero. So that Blue Standard 3 is doing a good job aggressively. He didn't die. It was close, but he was able to force the other team back. Excuse me, he did get knocked out, but he got everyone else in the fight low enough that he bought the team a lot of time. This allows the blue team to take some shots at the red base, right? So the blue hero 1 has 16 projectiles. I don't think they went hard enough here. I'm excited to see, curious to see what forces the blue team to stop this aggression. Blue Standard 4 is defending. He's got 70 projectiles and is in a good defensive position to support this hero. The hero has plenty of gold. Here comes Red Standard 3. That's probably the answer to my question. So this is that pinch point I was mentioning. Blue Standard 4, frankly, is probably a little bit in the way here. He's not actually firing any projectiles at Red Standard 3. I don't know if he's out of physical projectiles or if he just can't get a proper angle. And then he can't make it up the ramp. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so it looked really good to me, visually, having Blue Standard 4 be there to support Blue Hero 1 as he was doing base damage, but then he didn't launch any projectiles. I'm not sure if he's out of physical projectiles. Again, maybe he just couldn't see the opponent. He's able to make the big jump into the enemy base. Blue Standard 4 really misplayed that section, but I did like it. For the blue team in general, they had good positioning. It was just misplayed, and now the red team uses that tempo, right? So when I talk about tempo, when it's your turn on the map, you will have all of your robots up. You will have gold and you'll have physical projectiles. So if you look right now, that's the case for red. They're running low now on projectiles. The hero is out. They obviously only have one standard, and now it should be their turn to back off. Red Standard 3 is able to get a kill. That's awesome. But the red hero needs to retreat, needs to purchase more projectiles. Red Standard 3 continues to play defensively. The blue team should be able to push at this moment, though. I mean, obviously they just lost blue standard 4 because he came up by himself, but it should be a 2v1. They should be approaching with, or even all three, allowing the red standard to stand in a 1v3 lost them their whole turn, right? So because they were unable to force that red standard back, they've lost their opportunity to attack. Now the red team has the ball again. So red hero 1 is back in the middle, still has projectiles. Red standard 3 is actually running low on virtual projectiles, so they're going to have to retreat. This is a little riskier than I would play. I'd like to keep the numbers a little more even if I was on the red team. But frankly, the blue team is underperforming here and has their standards out. Still one of those standards knocked out. Blue standard 4 or blue standard 3, excuse me, doing some damage from that defensive zone, which is great. But this isn't the time to defend, right? I mean, look at the map state. So if you're the blue team, this is not when you should be defending. And he picks up on that. And now blue standard 3 is going to push up. But when he pushes up, he's got 20 projectiles left. This is not, in my opinion, correct gameplay. Why would you push with 20 projectiles? Figures this out, turns around. They have so much gold to purchase. What are they doing? Chad, if you're watching this and you're going to play, if you're participating in RoboMasters this year, make sure your drivers are a little more conscientious about their virtual and physical projectile limits. So you can see the virtual projectile limits are underneath the robot names. So Blue Standard 3 has 7 virtual projectiles left. Those are projectiles purchased with in-game currency. Their team has 269 gold. Nice. So they could retreat and buy a bunch of projectiles. The 17 millimeter projectiles are extremely cheap. Maybe they were just feeling desperation. I mean, there's only 30 seconds left in the match. But yeah, now Blue Standard 3 is out of projectiles. You can't do anything with that few projectiles. Your accuracy would have to be off the charts. The engineers are just kind of bumping into one another. And then look at this. So I want to point it out one last time. Because those standards overstayed, they should have retreated, right? I mean, they only had 40 seconds, but they should have retreated. They would have gotten virtual projectiles immediately. They could have just purchased them. It's like 3 button clicks on the keyboard. Then in this last desperation push, when things are actually getting quite close, the hero from Team Future lands a hit on the base. The only issue is Red Standard 3 comes to push. But there's only one robot from the red team here. Red 4 is in a hole. Red 1 is dead until after the match is over. This should be extremely defendable for Team Future. But because both their standards have misplayed, right? I mean, obviously, we've already watched the match. You know what's going to happen. The red standard is able to just rain down on the blue hero, takes him out, and now there's nothing you can do. So it really was just a story of just drivers not understanding and playing map priority and tempo correctly. You need to swing back and forth, right? In my head, at least, that's what I think of when I talk about map tempo. It's like an actual metronome for like music, right? So it should be swinging back and forth. It should be your turn, and then it should be the other player's turn, and then it should be your turn, and it should be the other team's turn. And when it's your turn, you need to push. You need to push together. You need to push as a team. When it's the enemy's team turn, yeah, you need to defend, right? And you can cheat it, right? So if you defend really well, maybe you'll get 2 turns. So that's what we saw from Red Standard 3. When they finished their first turn, the red hero ran out of physical projectiles, had to retreat. It's now the blue team's turn. Blue pushed up, but they were stopped by Red Standard 3. He won a 1v3, and now they get a second turn, right? Blue team was unable to deal significant damage during their offensive turn, and now they're back on defense. And I don't think the blue team really got the kind of the swing of things, no pun intended, to realize when they should be pushing and when they should be pulling. And that was very evident right in the last minute and a half again, where the standards pushed when they should have pulled. They went up and forward when they had few projectiles, low health, and their hero was not in a useful position. So they weren't attacking as a full team. They were just attacking as individuals, which is much less useful. And they were attacking as underpowered individuals because they didn't have projectiles. And so we saw that again, the red team was able to defend extremely successfully, getting themselves another turn and eventually, right, taking the match. So, Guys, we're gonna keep it short. We're gonna keep it quick tonight. Just wanted to make sure I popped in and gave y'all a little something of RMUC. I'll work on getting some more downloaded. See if I can figure out. I think Shaur was messaging me that it's a browser thing. If I use different browsers, the DJI downloads will work better for RoboMasters matches. So we'll be back tomorrow night, both of us, me and Shaur. Hopefully, leave a comment for me if you have any thoughts on that round. I think we've watched it together twice, which I actually liked. It was neat to get to see and look more from a strategic standpoint rather than just like a whole game, and get to go through it a little bit more carefully. So throw a comment in there. Is there something I missed in that round where you feel like strategically Team Future could have done something else additionally to take down round one? All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a good night.